This is our plan to deal with the egg shortage in 2023 and beyond. There are two primary things that we do with our excess eggs. First, we share that abundance with our family, and then what we have left over, we'll run through our freeze dryer. Is that these eggs, properly stored, will last for years.
Last year, we put up about 500 excess eggs in our freeze dryer, sealed them up in Mylar bags with an oxygen absorber. I'll show you that in a minute, but first we're going to have some breakfast. The proportions for one egg are 2 tablespoons of egg powder to 2 tablespoons of water. Right now, I'm doubling that to make a 2-egg breakfast. You want to whisk it vigorously to get the egg powder and water mixed up well.
They taste no different than an actual fresh egg, and that's, I think, another beauty of them is that the flavor is retained and the nutritive value of these eggs is retained. Yeah, these are screaming.
How's breakfast, Porterhouse?
I would say that I can't tell the difference between those fresh eggs over there and the one that just came out of the bag. And the thing that is amazing to me is that we're not necessarily going to be concerned so much with what happens with supply chains, what happens with birds being cold, because we've taken that excess and we've put it back, and it's going to be there for years to come. The flavor and the taste and the texture and the consistency, I'm telling you, it's the same, that I can't tell the difference. So to answer your question, it's delicious.
I crack 5 at a time in a bowl to make sure that I don't have any bad eggs. And then I whisk them up and put them on the tray, and each tray should hold about 25 eggs. I whisk the eggs up just enough to break the yolks and blend them slightly, but I don't want to make them frothy or over blend them, so I do it by hand. 5 down, 20 more to go. Take the trays and the eggs into where we have the freeze dryer to pour the eggs so that they don't spill. Slide it in.
Which ones?
These ones. Little peanut eggs.
Yeah. Which ones are laying those?
The dual purpose chickens.
Right. Right. Let's get a look at that. See what we got here. There's your dual purpose right there. These are your egg laying birds. But that white squiggly thing is called a kuleza. And there's actually 2 of them. There's one at the top of the egg and one at the bottom of the egg that keeps the yolk centered in the egg so the yolk doesn't break.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Simply fascinating.
Yeah, it's a fun fact.
It is a fun fact.
That's right. Yeah, the unit that we have is the large with the oilless pump. Put all these eggshells in this Wally bag and feed them back to the hens. Good calcium for them, so we'll stick it in their pen and let them kind of play around with those for a while.
It's just skin and shell. You got shell on you. These are the eggs coming out of the freeze dryer. There are 5 pans, but we will be removing them and putting them in Mylar bags. I use a non-metallic spatula to loosen the eggs up from the tray, and then we put them in the Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers.
This particular bag here is one that we sealed up last year, and as you can see how it has all the oxygen drawn out of it. And it's kind of best practice before you seal it up, if you squeeze as much air as possible, then put your seal and then the oxygen absorbers will do the remainder of the work. And the nice thing about that is it kind of allows you to make sure, just visually looking at these bags individually, whether or not your seal is still good or not. These 2 bags here, we just sealed up, and that's another 125 eggs.
And we just seal these into the mason jar with an oxygen absorber. And then as we need to use them, we open them up and then just reseal the jar.
During those periods where we have an abundance of food production, we can put that food back for long-term food storage if it's properly stored. And so that just provides a certain level of comfort to me. And I thought I'd share kind of what we're doing here, at least with regard to all of the excess eggs that we have. Yeah, thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time.